All right, welcome. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on something really cool. How do you even begin to design an app that lets you own a tiny slice of a Ferrari? And I'll tell you, it's got almost nothing to do with flashy code or cool animations at first. Nope, it's all about people. It's about digging into their hopes, their fears, and yeah, their financial dreams to build something that actually, works. So let's jump right in.
So here's the game plan. We're literally going to walk in the designer's shoes. We'll start by wrapping our heads around this pretty unique business model, and then we'll meet the three totally different types of people who use it. After that, we get to the juicy part, uncovering their biggest headaches and seeing how every single feature was built specifically to solve those problems, all leading up to the final app blueprint.
Just let that sink in for a minute. What if you could actually own a piece of a classic Ferrari? Or a famous work of art? Maybe even the cricket bat that won a World Cup? That's the huge idea we're tackling today, this concept of fractional ownership. And believe me, turning that idea into a real working app is a massive design challenge.
Right, so to make something like that happen, you can't just build another online store. It's not that simple. You have to create a completely new kind of marketplace, one that comes with its own very tricky, very complex set of rules.
This right here? This is the absolute heart of the whole operation. See, it's not a simple two-way street like most marketplaces. It's a three-way intersection, and that changes everything. You've got the person who originally owned the item, you've got the everyday investors buying little shares of it, and then you've got this third player, a potential tycoon, who might just swoop in and buy the whole thing down the line. The number one design challenge is this. How on earth do you build one app that serves all three of these incredibly different people, especially when what they want is often the complete opposite? So, before you even think about designing a single screen, the first, most critical step is to figure out who are these three people, really? What makes them tick? What do they actually value? Because let's be honest, if you don't understand your users, you can't possibly build something for them.
First up, let's meet Arjun. He's our retail investor. Think of a 29-year-old product manager from Mumbai. He's already using all the typical investment apps, but he's kind of bored. He wants to put his money into something with a story, something he can talk about. For Arjun, owning a piece of a collectible isn't just about the money. It's about status, it's about the excitement of owning something real, something legendary.
Now on the total other end of the spectrum, we've got Ramesh. He's 52, a retired engineer, and he's the one selling his prized possession. He's not thinking about fast money or bragging rights. He spent a lifetime collecting rare stamps and coins. For him, selling is a big emotional deal. His biggest worry? Trust. He needs to know that this thing he's cherished is going to be treated with respect and that the whole process is going to be fair.
And finally, meet Vikram. He's the tycoon. He is the end game for everybody else. He's not messing around with small shares. He buys the entire asset for his private collection. Vikram is all business. He's decisive, he works through his assistant, and he has absolutely zero time for hassles. For him, one thing matters above all else: due diligence. He needs undeniable, rock-solid proof that the item is authentic, and he expects the transaction to be flawless and private, period. Okay, so we have our cast of characters. The next, and maybe most important step in this whole design process, is to really dig in and find out what their core problems are. What are the real-world frustrations and anxieties that this app absolutely has to solve? Now, this slide is so important because it just shows you the two completely different worlds this app has to live in. On the left, you've got Arjun, the investor. His fears are all about the market. Is this just a fad? What if I can't sell my shares when I want to? But then look at Ramesh on the right. His worries are so much more personal. Am I getting a good price for this? And that classic frustration, I sent in all my paperwork 2 weeks ago and haven't heard a thing. The design has to somehow build a bridge between these two worlds and solve both sets of problems at the same time. And then, just cutting through all that noise, you have this one simple demand from Vikram, our tycoon. And this isn't a suggestion, right? For a deal this big, trust isn't some vague feeling. It's a document you can download and verify. This one sentence basically dictates an entire foundation of the product. It's a non-negotiable.
Okay, so we've met the people, and we know what keeps them up at night. Now, this is where the real magic happens. In a really great design process, every single feature, every button, every screen exists for one reason and one reason only: to solve a specific pain point for a specific person. Let's see exactly how that plays out.
This table just lays it all out so perfectly. You can literally draw a straight line from a person's complaint to the feature that solves it. Look at Arjun, groaning, "Ugh, not another selfie with my PAN card." So the solution?
Not a prettier upload button, no. It's biometric onboarding that gets him in the door in 60 seconds. Then there's Ramesh, who feels like he's been left in the dark. The fix? A live submission progress tracker. And Vikram, who demands proof? Boom, a secure authentication document vault. See? Problem, solution. Problem, solution. This is the whole point. Great design isn't just making things look good, it's about elegantly solving real, nagging human problems.
And let's just drill down a little deeper on that sign-up problem for Arjun. The easy fix would have been to just, make the upload screens look nicer. But the real design breakthrough here was to ask a better question. Why are we making people upload documents at all? That thinking led the team to something called the Account Aggregator Framework. It lets them pull verified info with the user's permission, which means the whole painful upload process just disappears. See? That's solving the root cause, not just treating the symptom.
So, now that we have a crystal clear picture of the users, their problems, and the features that solve them, it's finally time to actually build the app's blueprint. This is where we see how all that research gets organized into what's called the information architecture.
Now, I know this might look like a super complicated flowchart, but just think of it as the app's DNA. It's the skeleton that holds the whole thing together. And notice how it's not organized by feature, it's organized by people. Over here, you've got Arjun's entire world, discovering new items, trading his shares, checking his portfolio. Then, down this path, you have Ramesh's journey, submitting his asset, dealing with contracts. And tucked away over here, you've got Vikram's quiet, efficient path to buy the whole thing. The entire map is built around the very people we met right at the beginning.
That big picture map is awesome, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How does a real, sometimes messy, human process, like Ramesh deciding to sell a precious family heirloom, get translated into a clean, simple, easy-to-use app flow?
Well, first you map out reality. You just forget about the app for a second and chart the actual journey a person takes. Ramesh submits his item online. The team reviews it. Then a physical inspection gets scheduled. An offer is made. He accepts it, signs the contract, gets paid, and the item goes into a secure vault. That's the ground truth. That's what actually happens. And here is where it all clicks into place. You take that real-world map and you build the app's structure to be a perfect mirror of it. The asset submission part of the app has sections for a progress tracker, inspection booking, and offer and contract because those are the real steps Ramesh has to take. The design isn't trying to invent a new process, it's just reflecting reality, which makes the whole thing feel completely natural and intuitive to use.
And really, that brings us to the big takeaway here. What we've looked at today isn't just about building one cool app. It's about a way of thinking, a process that puts human beings right at the center of everything. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other complicated problems could we solve? How many amazing products are just out there waiting to be built if we just took the time to really, truly listen to all the users first? Thanks for tuning in.